So James, I want to check, are we recording?
Yes, we will be here in a second.
Just give me a heads up when to start, okay? Ah,
That would be your cue.
is that my cue, James?
I,
That's it.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, hey everybody, this is Stephen Key. My partner Andrew Krause is not here this evening, so I can pretty much do what I want, which I really do like. And we do not have a script. We're just going to jump in. Oh, James, you got that icon of Andrew. I'm looking at him. It's like he's here participating, but he's not.
He's always watching you.
He is watching me. You guys, welcome to the Licensing Playbook Live every Wednesday at 5 o'clock West Coast, 8 o'clock East Coast, where we're going to talk about how to get into companies. We're really going to focus on how to get into companies to pitch your ideas for product licensing, although you could probably use these same techniques just to get into anybody that you want to get into. Maybe you want to get into someone to do something else. So you could probably use these same techniques to do that. The reason why this is so important, and we're going to keep on talking about it, it's gotten a lot harder today to get to people because it's crowded, it's noisy, everybody's getting a lot of emails. Companies that are looking for ideas have walls, and you have to stand out. There's no doubt about it. Even myself, with all the emails I get, it's very hard to get to all the emails. So why do I pick some emails and respond to and others that I don't? And what I realized at the end of the day, you need to stand out. And so that's what this webinar is all about, standing out to get that licensing deal you desperately want and need and deserve. So I want to thank everybody for coming. If you know of anybody out there that could benefit from this 5 o'clock webinar, please let them know. Now, you have to realize I've been pitching my ideas since I was 18 years old. I don't pitch ideas anymore. So don't ever listen to me to be current. I'm not current. You like that, Dana?
yeah, I like that.
It's the truth. Um, I'm not current, so don't listen to me. And when I was current, uh, I think that information's old, right? Because I think things are changing so rapidly that it's very important to have the most current information today. We have a program at inventRight called Gateway, where we have a team of amazing people calling companies, pitching ideas every single day. And they've been doing it now for a long time. And I think they've gotten into almost probably over 800 companies where they have built relationships with, they have spoken to, and they know how to get into companies. So Dana is our queen of Gateway. I don't know what your regular title is, but I'm going to call you the queen of Gateway.
Okay.
And we have Chad. Chad, raise your hand over there. Chad's out there pounding it down. Those two, and I think there's four total, but Chad and Dana, they're going to come in hopefully come on every Wednesday to share the most current information. Like I said, my information is a little old. Their information is the most current information I think you're going to find anywhere because they do it every single day. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about that you've done all the hard work. You have come up with a great idea. You've probably protected it, filed a PPA, maybe a design patent, copyright, whatever, trademark, and you've got a list of companies that you're going after, and you're pounding the door down, and you've been listening to us, and now you're getting in. Holy cow, they're listening to you, and they want to see what you have. They like your one-line benefit statement. They like what you're doing, and now they want to see your product. Now, you don't want to make a mistake now. This is not the time to make a mistake. They want to see your sell sheet or maybe your 1 minute sizzle video to convince them why they need to license your idea. We've been talking about marketing material at InventRight for over 25 years because we know that first impression might be the only chance you're going to get. So you have to get it right. So we're going to talk about a sell sheet first. And what is a sell sheet? It's a one-page advertisement for your product. I like to tell everybody simply, if you're driving down the freeway, you see a billboard, You need to understand that billboard within seconds. Your sell sheet's no different. It needs to show that company the benefit of your idea within seconds. If it takes longer than seconds, you probably are going to have a problem. So Dana, what do you think about sell sheets and why are they so important?
Well, I always say the sell sheet is the very first thing that they're going to see of your product. It's the very first thing. And you have to make an impression on them. And if anybody's not familiar with what a sell sheet is, I mean, you can go into our website and go under prototypes. And I think we have some examples of sell sheets that we do. I'm not sure exactly where it's at on the website, but I always explain to people, imagine, and I'll just say you have a fishing product and you're looking through a fishing magazine, or maybe you have a whatever, a cell phone accessory or a garden tool or something like that. And you're looking through a magazine and you come across a one-page ad for your product. What is that going to look like? What do other ads in magazines look like? Because that's what it sort of is. It's a sell sheet. And when you open up the magazine, you see a beauty shot of this product, a couple of main benefit to the consumer, a couple other little benefits, and then, in a magazine, maybe where you can buy it, but on a sell sheet, it would have your information on there. And so you can look at you can look through magazines and see what are other people, how are they advertising a brand new product? And if you're looking through a magazine, you have to get that in a couple seconds. You can't sit there and read it for 10 minutes trying to figure out what this product is. So I think, we did that, the Zoom session that we do here, the playbook on things that you shouldn't say to a company. I think we should do things that you shouldn't put on a sell sheet, and maybe learn, don't do this and don't do that. And I think that would be kind of fun instead of telling people what to do, which we will do that through this, but it's a lot of not what to do. And that we can share some of that.
We'll cover that, Dana, during this. We'll cover that because I think you're right. We need to talk what should be on there, but what should not be on there. Hey, Chad, you're calling companies all the time. You're sending them sell sheets daily. You guys pitch a lot of ideas. What's important to you on a sell sheet when you send it over to a company?
Well, first thing I'd say, first and foremost, you want to proofread, and you want to check and make sure that all of your stuff works. If you have an embedded video in there, make sure that works now. We discussed that on a previous video. Send it to a friend. Make sure everything works when you go to click on that link. The last thing you want to do is have a back and forth with the company that it doesn't work and trying to sort all that out. That's steps that you don't want. But when I get a sell sheet over, I want it to be clear. I want it to be concise. Like Dana said, you want that beauty shot, that big shot of your product. And there's a lot of things that you shouldn't put on there, or maybe shouldn't put in a certain format. And I sent over to James today. I have a sell sheet that if you end up pulling that up, that's
we'll get to that we'll get that done in just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, sell sheets. I want to say one thing about sell sheets. There's no such thing as a perfect sell sheet, right? And I see a lot of people reworking their sell sheet, reworking it. That's okay, but get to a point where you really want to show it to someone that a good friend or maybe a spouse, and say, hey, or maybe someone that has never seen what you have, and show it to them and see how they react to it. Do they get it? What type of questions are they asking? You're going to tell very quickly if they get your product idea. And if they don't, you might have to go back and retweak it. So that's what I do. That's my little test. But there is a format that I think really, really works extremely well. But you can change it up a little bit. Of course, you can play with it. But typically, you're going to see the biggest picture where your eye is going to be drawn to first. Is going to be the big picture. It's the biggest one. It's your beauty shot. Right? And because sometimes I see sell sheets where all the images look the same size. So your eye doesn't know where to focus. It's like, well, what am I looking at first? So first and foremost, make sure your product is nice. It got a nice photograph. It looks really cool and clean, and it's nice, and it doesn't have a lot of graphics around it or a lot of little foo-foo around it, but there's your product. In fact, if you look at products on Amazon or anything on the internet, what do you see? You see that beauty shot. It's very typical. It's very clean. That's the biggest image on this on a sell sheet. The second thing that your eye should go to should be your one sentence benefit statement. It's also called your unique selling proposition. That's really, why would anybody even care? It's really simple. Why? So what is it? And a lot of people make a mistake here too, Dana and Chad, I want to ask you about this too. That one sentence benefit statement, it's not about the features, it's about the big benefit of all of it. How's it going to make me happy if I buy it? Is it going to make me stronger? Is it going to make me build something quicker? Is it going to allow me to make my life easier? What's it going to do for me? The reason why I like that big picture is a great selling tool to draw someone into the picture. It draws them into what the product is. It's a headline in a magazine. It's that thing you click on. It's called clickbait. It's all those things that say, hey, I want to know more. It has to be very enticing. But sometimes people make a mistake and they put the features. The features of your product should add up to the benefit of your product. Dana, what do you think about one-line benefit statements and what do you see out there?
Well, I think you said it. The picture of the image of your product is the first thing the eye is going to go to. And your benefit, your one main benefit of what does this do for the company's consumer?
Yeah.
And that should be very big, because it's going to go, the first thing they're going to see, they're going to go to the image and then they're going to go to the main benefit. So it should be in big font, easy to read. And I can just say that if you're not sure how to do that, it's a lot of brainstorming when we come up with main benefits, that one main benefit. It's a lot of brainstorming back and forth with the client to figure it out. Like, and sometimes you have to just keep peeling back the onion. What is, because so many inventors want to go to features. Well, it's, it's this color or it's this size or it's this, but it's really focusing on what is it going to do for the consumer? I'm sorry, I'm freezing up there a little bit. What's it going to do for the consumer is the big thing. And I think people don't focus on that enough.
Yeah, sometimes I think they make a mistake there. They're thinking that it's the benefit to the company, but no, it is to their consumer.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to show it. In fact, they might use your sell sheet to show a buyer.
Mm-hmm.
They might do it as a test to their customers. So it really needs to be to their customer. Chad, what do you see about, what do you think about one-line benefit statements?
Well, first of all, I agree with you completely. A lot of times your sell sheet will be the ones that they send to the buyer. We get that all the time. I have, companies that I reach out to that they want to show it to a retailer, this or that, to gauge interest. And it's your marketing materials that they're working with. So that is why that's important. And as far as the one sentence benefit statement, I agree with Dana. You'd be surprised how many times you can take your one sentence benefit statement and chop that down further and further and further. You realize how much extra is really in there before you get down to the meat of what you really need. And it is interesting. It's like kind of like she said, peeling back those layers. But I've struggled with one sentence benefit statements on some of my products, and I've done multiple versions of sell sheets. I refine my marketing materials even now for my products. So like I said, I wouldn't let any of those one things stop you from reaching out, but you should always keep improving on it. Once you get something that's decent there that you can really send out to companies, that's when you can get started, but don't be afraid to refine it.
You know what you can do to come up with your one sentence benefit statement? Just talk about your product to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Have a casual conversation, and you'll be surprised how you describe it. You'll find it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So just just play with it. You might have multiple benefits. Okay, which one do you choose? Try to get the biggest one. You might even play with it. You might change it up a little bit. So nothing is set in stone. That's one thing I've realized. You have to kind of play with it to really nail it down. I think the one sentence benefit statement that I really liked the most was Steve Jobs with the iPod. How would you like 1,000 songs in your pocket?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't talk about the size of it. He didn't talk about any of the features. He just talked about, do you want this? And it was wonderful. It kind of worked. And the shorter, the better if you can. Sometimes they get a little wordy, right? So just be careful. Sometimes people like to put their product name in it. Well, they don't know your product name. It doesn't mean anything. So be careful of that, you guys. Okay. The third thing, you have your big beauty shot, your one-line benefit statement at the top. You might have 4 or 5 bullet points of the features. Could be certain size, certain weight. It could be easy to manufacture. It could be a list of things that you think that would support the big benefit of it. And those are your features. Okay. Also, there's different types of formats to sell sheets. There's one that you might have down below all this information. It's called the storyboard. You might have to tell someone more information of how to use it. So down below might be 3 pictures. This is how it's used. It tells a story. It's a storyboard sell sheet. It's very, very common. And you'll see that. Depends on how much information. Sometimes that beauty shot, you might even have a call out. If there's something special and people might not know what it is, you might have a call out, a little thing that has a little arrow and say exactly what this piece is. This is the mouthpiece, or this is this, to give them a little bit more information. Don't be afraid to do that. It's okay. The other tip I always have, that I always look at the type of companies I'm sending it to, and I look at their website. What colors are they using? What fonts are they using? What words are they using? And that tells me a little bit. So when I do send my sell sheet to them, it looks like it can fit in their product line. I don't want them to imagine too much here. I don't want them to dream, hey, if we did this, we did this, we did this, we did this, and maybe it might work. No, I want to get it pretty darn close. So when they see it, so go to those potential licensees and look how they're selling their products. That will give you a good tip on how you need to present yours to them. If you're in the medical field, I'm going to guarantee there's a lot of blue and white.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got a product in golf, I bet it's going to be a lot of green in there. Right? So kind of look at the right colors to match up a little bit. I think it's easy to do. It will give you the tips at what you should do. Let's talk about.
I want to jump in. I got to jump
Go
in
ahead,
for
go
a
ahead,
second.
go ahead.
Okay. So you had mentioned, and if I heard you right, you were talking about putting features in there that I see a lot of times on sell sheets that people will say comes in 3 colors, comes in 5 sizes. You know what? We don't know what the company is going to do, if they're going to have it in 5 colors or 3 sizes, or, you know, made out of this or made out of that. I'm real leery about putting that in there because we don't know. Those are wishful thinking that it's going to come in 3 colors. We're not selling it yet. So, yeah, and again, we can't stress enough to have somebody who knows what they're doing look at your sell sheet and advise you on what shouldn't be in there. And I think it's a big mistake that we want to put everything in there, and it doesn't need to be in there. Simple, simple, simple. You know, even what materials it can be made out of. We don't know what materials that company is going to make it out of unless it absolutely has to be made out of that. And I'm going to share a mistake that I made with my shower caddy, and I didn't know that. It was kind of you know, I went through the whole process. I invented a hanging shower caddy. And so I licensed it to a company. It went on the market. Everything was great. But in hindsight, I wish I wouldn't have put it in the shower category. I wish I would have called it a generic vertical storage unit, because I pigeonholed it into the shower caddy. So if you have a product that can be used in other industries or in other parts of the house or in other wherever, that's something you have to think about. Because my product, I created it for the shower. It got stuck in the shower caddy industry, and that's kind of where it got stuck. And I kind of wish that I wouldn't have done that I wouldn't have named it the shower, and it was just a generic, the shower caddy.
Okay.
I wish I wouldn't have done that.
All right.
But I didn't know. I know now. Yeah.
Let's answer some of these questions that are coming in, they're really simple ones. Someone asked, I think we've already talked about this. The sell sheet, is it geared towards the retailer or the customer? We said it's the customer, you guys. It could be the retailer. I doubt it. It's the customer. Okay. Someone wants to know, this is kind of off topic, but we'll talk about it anyway. Do manufacturers who make the products license products as well? And that's interesting. I say follow the money. Whoever is selling the product online or selling the product to a retailer, those are the people you go after to pitch your ideas to. Does that make sense? It's follow the money. Who's making money? Because your royalty is going to come off the sale to that retailer, typically.
And it does get confusing when we say manufacturer a lot. I mean, that can kind of run it, almost interchangeably between distributors. Some of them are manufacturers and distributors. But yeah, like Steven said, you're reaching out to the people that are selling those to the retailers.
Yeah.
So if you have, say you have a company that makes sheet metal, you're not going to reach out to them to have them make some little trinket metal product. They're selling that sheet metal in bulk to someone who is then turning it into a product. Whoever's turning it into the product, that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, the person that's taking that product, and maybe they're manufacturing, maybe it's contract manufacturing, doesn't matter who, but it's the person that's taking it and selling it. Because that's
I
get
companies that are confused by that when I reach out and they're like, well, we don't manufacture. I'm like, well, I understand that. And I realize that a lot of your products are, third-party manufactured, and, you have to explain to them that's what you're looking for. That's the kind of partnership that you're looking for.
Yeah, where's your royalty coming from?
I think sometimes too that the inventor gets confused when we're talking about licensing and we talk about the manufacturer, that they may think that we're talking about the factory.
Right.
A factory that actually is physically manufacturing it. So there's companies that own their own manufacturing factories, and those are the companies that you definitely would want to reach out to. But then there's also companies who have, like Chad said, a third party or another party. They hire that factory to manufacture for them. So it can be a little confusing.
Well, then on that note, because when we're reaching out to companies, we take the product that we have and whatever, sometimes it is multiple materials that it could be made out of. And we try to gear that toward the company that works in those materials. But just like Dana said, don't pigeonhole yourself. Don't paint yourself into a corner there either, because just because they only deal with metal and your product could be plastic, that doesn't mean that it's not relevant to their brand and that they couldn't have a third-party manufacturer easily make that, just because, you don't want to go too off the board of what they're doing, but you don't know until you ask, I guess is my point.
Yeah, we were on a call last week, Dana and I, with a client, and we were talking with the company that's interested in the idea. And the client that had the idea was on the call. And they started to talk a little bit about that, the potential licensee of the company that wants it. It's probably going to change it a little bit. And sometimes I think the client didn't really realize what did that mean? Well, they were saying, look, we need to take your great idea and make some changes to it so it fits our product line. It needs to look like our product line. Maybe materials, maybe size has to change. Maybe a couple things have to change. So you just have to be a little bit, you have to understand the conversation that people are having. But she was confused by that. And at first I thought she didn't want anything to be changed. It has to be a certain way, but she kind of got it. And she realized there has to be some flexibility here, because they're going to make some changes, right? And probably good changes. Right. Yeah.
And
Hopefully
we're talking about
good.
sell sheet. Yeah, great changes. I know.
And if they want to change it, let them. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, really. If they want to change it, make it whatever color you want, use whatever materials.
I don't care what you call me as long as you call me, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But yeah, I think too that it's perfectly okay if you feel that your product fits into this category, but it could also fit into this category. Have basically two different sell sheets.
Okay,
They're going to
good.
look almost exactly the same, but maybe one's geared towards children because your product can fit into for a child, and then one is geared more towards an adults. Because if you feel that your product can fit into, and I'm just using this as an example, children could use it, but adults could use it, or maybe, you know, a school that does children could use it, but a college could use it. You have to have two different sell sheets to pitch to two different.
And then I want to throw everything in it because
No,
it can work for everybody.
no.
Well, and you're either trying to do that, a grain of salt, but you're either trying to do that to save money from having another one made, or the laziness of having to do it yourself. That extra time and effort that you're going to take is going to be worth sending that over, because is it possible that they could imagine it and see it from your point of view, but why would you want to make them?
Yeah.
Like, make two sell sheets. You'd be surprised if you would think, yeah, it'd be easy for them to get it, but you'd be surprised how often that's not the case.
Okay, so we talked about the format. We talked about the one-line benefit statement, the beauty shot, the bullet points for features, maybe a storyboard. You guys, you know what else you need on there too? Is some really good contact information at the very bottom.
Yeah.
And if you've got a telephone number, make sure you put it on there. Your email address.
And make sure your email address is professional. Make sure it's professional.
Not your middle school one that says
I've seen some
like,
really
underscore. Yeah.
bad emails, and I'm like, you cannot put that on a sell sheet. I mean, none
It
of our
takes 5 minutes to make a
clients
new one on
but
Gmail. Just do that instead.
something that's
Okay.
very professional.
The other thing too, we've talked about this a few times. It's okay to look like you're bigger than you are.
Mhm.
So if you can name your company, name your company. You don't have to file for a trademark or file an LLC on it yet. But, you know, I know maybe you're doing this for the first time, you're doing it in your office, but it's okay to kind of look a little bigger. It's okay, they'll appreciate it. All right. And that could help with a simple logo, a little logo down there. What about patent pending? You're very proud of it. You want to put it big because you're scared they're going to steal it. I don't see this enough. I used to see this all the time. Patented, patent pending, big on a sell sheet. Don't do that. Make it very small
Mhm.
and put it
Think
down.
of the name of your product too, because when I first did my sell sheet, I did the name of the product really big and the
Mhm.
one sentence benefit statement really small. You need to flip that around. Nobody, I mean, not that nobody cares, but there's a good chance that they could change the name of your product. That's irrelevant. They don't care what that is,
I sometimes think that naming your product right off the bat is to show them may not be the best idea, because and I'm not saying it's not probably not really a deal breaker, but I don't want a company to look at a product that has a name on it that I already named with a registered trademark, and them saying, okay, well, we don't want to name it that, so maybe we don't even want to deal with them because they're going to insist. Because we have had people insist, not our clients, because we tell them, but I've seen people insist, that's my trademark and I want it called my, and I'm like, nobody knows your brand. Nobody knows who you are. That's the whole point of licensing, is to put your product underneath a brand that has consumer loyalty. And the regular consumer doesn't know who invented it. I remember Stephen saying, I don't care what they call, I don't care what name they use, as long as the name on the check is right.
Right. Yeah.
I must have said that 25 years ago, Dana.
You
You
said
still
that a
remember
lot.
that.
You said that when I first started, and I'm like, yep, that's all I care about, the name on the check. They can call it anything they want.
Yeah. Your sell sheet, that real estate is very precious. So use it. Use it up. Don't make it too crowded. We see a lot of sell sheets with just too much information because you have so much to say,
Mhm.
right? And sometimes less is more. But look at how they would sell it. Condense it down to think of how would they sell it in a magazine, a billboard. Give them enough information so they want to call you and engage more. So you don't have to tell them everything. I know a lot of times they see a kitchen sink in there. Now, Chad, you've got a kitchen sink in your first sell sheet, don't you?
Oh, it's absolute chaos, and
I wish you
figured
would
it'd
have asked me to share my sell sheet I made by myself before I
same.
got InventRight, and then InventRight's the sell sheet that I made with the coach. I'll have to do that on one of the next ones, have that pulled up. I don't think I have it.
And I was using, I was watching, this was even, I made this sell sheet before I even became a student. I was just watching the videos on YouTube at the time. And, I followed what I thought was inventRight's format, but, you have a way of looking back on things after getting some experience, and it's a mess. But even the newer one that I had, there's still some things that I see that are wrong with that one, or that could be improved. You know what I mean? Like the one sentence benefit statement could be better, things like that. But my old one, it's absolute chaos. It's distracting. It's way too busy. There was graphics in there that didn't need to be in there. I didn't know what I was doing. You know what I mean? And that's just
do this. Hey, James, if you're still there, can you show the one of Chad that's a little busy? And James, if you got a minute, pull up some other sell sheets that you have, if you can find them too.
All right, I'll see what I can find.
James has probably got tons of them.
We had somebody on YouTube that no, I'm sorry, on LinkedIn that said should they put their patent pending or patent number on their sell sheet as well?
That's a great question. I would definitely, if it's patent pending, you put patent pending, of course. If I have a patent, yeah, I think I'm going to put my number on there. Let me tell you the reason why. You're giving them notice. And that's not a bad thing. They can look it up anyway. They could find it. You've got it issued. Be proud of it. I think that's what I would do. Yeah.
But it shouldn't be a threat, All right.
Yeah, that's why
Feel free to
small.
Feel free to roast me alive in the comments on this one. I mean, if there's things that you see that you can point out, this is a Where's Waldo of stuff not to do with your sell sheet.
Now, wait a minute. It's not so bad here, Chad. Let's talk about it for a minute.
Oh, you got a lot going on.
Right away, you guys, strike and stroke. That's the name of your product, but that's what it does too, though, right?
Right, it's a descriptive name, and the company that I licensed to did keep the name, so that didn't work out.
That's a good thing. So it kind of talks a little bit of what it does. Fire starting bellows. What is a bellows? What is that? Starting firing bellows.
So a bellows is for, like, you think of like a fireplace, the old that's a bellows. So it's a bellows that's used to blow air through to stoke a fire. But it's more of an obscure term. It doesn't not ever you don't want them to have to look it up.
Okay. Look how big the beauty shot is, you guys.
Yeah, and it's down at the bottom. Can't see anything. It's very crude. It's there's no wow anything about it, about that beauty shot.
Well, you know what's really great though? Starts fires faster, keeps them going longer. That's a really good, nice one-line benefit statement. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like there's just so much going on there. I mean, it's obvious. Like I said before, the name of the product is bigger than the and more highlighted than the one sentence benefit statement. It shouldn't be like that. That should be reversed.
Hey, you have a storyboard sell sheet here, Chad.
Yeah, yep. And the second one is even more refined, and I didn't need as many pictures as I did, so that allowed for more room for my beauty shot and all of that.
All right, let's see the second one. Thank you, Chad, for sharing this.
You're welcome. So this is the updated version. Still some things wrong with it. Way more simple. It's got granted, this version of it doesn't have the actual video, but it's got the clickable video link, still the storyboard style.
Okay.
It's not all clashing together.
Okay. Better, cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
And now even on this version, I will say, like, this wasn't my final version of this one. I ended up taking the one sentence benefit statement from my previous one and putting it where this ultimate fire starting tool is, because it wasn't as good. It wasn't as good as the first one. So you can take stuff from your previous versions and use it in your new stuff.
I really like click here to watch now. You guys and we're going to talk about videos in a minute, but if you have a sell sheet and you want to embed your video, make sure they do watch it. And sometimes
make sure
they don't
you
even find it.
Make sure you say it. I say this almost every time that I send a sell sheet. It takes a few extra words in your pitch, but please see the clickable video on the PDF. You send it to somebody who's not tech savvy, yeah, they see click, but they don't actually realize that you can click that and it'll pull up a video. So say it, let them know, make sure you click this video to see the demo video.
Thank you, Chad, for sharing.
Yeah,
Well,
I think too, it's real important that, when you do a video, use YouTube. Just do it. Just do it. If you got a Gmail account, you got a YouTube. Make it unlisted. Everybody trusts YouTube. The worst thing you can do, and we've talked about this before, is send over a video and they have to download something to open it. You're done. They're not going to download. I won't. We have people.
Some companies won't allow it. You're not allowed to.
Anything.
Just because of phishing and all that. Some companies won't.
I don't know. They don't know who you are, and you're sending over something, and you're asking them to download it onto their computer. No way. You're done. You're done.
Hey.
Or they want to or you want a password, or no, or you want to ask permission. No.
I have some additional samples if you want to see them.
Yeah, James, let's see what you have. I know, hopefully you have some some of my really old ones. That'd be funny to watch.
No, these are ones that we usually use for samples that we show people.
Okay. Okay, what is this? I see this, an interactive swim teaching device that promotes proper swimming. Okay. Swim to me, buddy. I got it. Okay, click video. Pretty simple bullet points. Okay, not bad. Show me another one.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, we've seen where it's all text. We've gotten what a client would consider to be their sell sheet, and there's no pictures on it. It looks like you're getting served with a subpoena or something. Like there's no pictures, no graphics. Yeah.
Okay. Keep your pedal board in your pocket. Okay, no need to carry around those different pedals anywhere. Okay, pretty simple. I think the beauty shot. I think the product's a little small on that one myself, but okay.
When we review products every week, we can almost tell every time when someone who is a former inventRight student submits a sell sheet, just because of that format.
Okay.
A lot of these will be similar format.
Child toilet seat. Make any bathroom family friendly in a snap. I think that could be. You guys, trust me, you can always refine them. You can always change them. There's no such thing as a perfect sell sheet. But why is this? If I look at an idea like this, why is this important? Does it make it easier for a child?
We have one in our bathroom right now.
Family friendly in a snap, make any bathroom. It gives more confidence in your child, probably, right? I think going toilet training is a big deal for kids.
I think one of the biggest benefits is that give your child independence.
There you go.
That's the biggest one for me.
There you go.
That's what what's the parent want? The parent doesn't want to have to go to the bathroom every time with the kid.
You'd be hovering them over the thing, and like we have one of these for when my son was younger, and he allows him to sit on it without falling through. I mean,
you know what's really great, because we're just talking about it. Mm-hmm. You can really try to get to the one of the bigger benefits of it. Next one, James.
I've always liked this one.
Test your spinning skills with the players from around the world. Okay, all right. It's got a storyboard, spinning toy. Click here. Okay, all right. Next one, James. Any more?
And that, just so if anybody knows, there was a beauty shot, and then there was 3 pictures on the bottom. That's like a storyboard sell sheet.
Yeah, the storyboard again, but on the side, which is really okay. This is building sand castles, basically. Sand or snow. It's kind of funny. They threw snow in there at the last minute, didn't they?
We see the theme of trying to show your benefit rather than just telling it.
Yeah.
One thing sometimes I don't agree with, not all the time, but like that last sell sheet, when they're showing like the 4 pictures at the top with the X's through it. I mean, for me, people get it. People get what, with one image, it could have done the job, Yeah,
James, let's go back to the screen, everybody. I want to talk about that for just a minute, Dana.
Yeah.
About people getting it. I've heard from someone that does sizzle videos for a living that's won all these awards.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot her name, LaDana. What's her first name? Anyway, we did a video on her, but she's like really good at these professionally does this for a living and it's won all these lifetime achievement awards for these 1 minute videos. And she said to me, this was a couple of years ago, she says, Steve, everything's changing so quickly. It used to be show before someone's struggling, Dana, a problem,
Mm-hmm.
and then show your solution. And she was telling me that they don't even do that anymore
Mm-mm.
because people know the problem. They go right to the solution.
You can show the problem so easily in seconds or with one picture. Like that one picture was like, okay, I get it. Yeah, we all have that. I mean, not everybody, unless you're, but we have that problem. So show me the solution. Show me this, and get to it.
Well, and they
Yeah.
might not always have the same problem because I won't get into specifics, but I had sent you, Dana, over that product that I had worked on recently that I came up with,
Mhm.
and the garden thing.
Yeah.
And once you saw it, you immediately went to how that would have benefited you, and it was a little bit different from how it was going to benefit me. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So that
Mhm.
you can't always anticipate everybody, the way everybody's going to perceive it either.
I've got a question for you guys. Do you always have to have a sell sheet? Can I just have a video sometimes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
video I think is better. Office, if it
I-
depends how clear you can make it with your video. If it's not necessary, same thing. If we're cutting out extras and the sell sheet is the extra, why not?
Dana?
I absolutely 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
Just like we've had sell sheets that didn't have videos, they didn't need it.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah,
required.
absolutely. And I don't think a company's ever come back and said, I don't want to see it. Well, we always send sell sheets, but I don't think a company's ever come back and said, no, I'm not looking at a video without a sell sheet. No, they don't care. They just want to see what your product does,
Right.
what's your benefit. And if your product's super demonstratable, yeah, just do a video and tell them I have a video that I want to send over to you.
All right, let's talk about videos for a minute. Dana, you've seen a lot of videos.
Oh, I've seen so many videos.
Okay. What's a good video and what's a video that probably needs to be improved?
I think, well, first of all, and I said this before, and I'll continue to say it because people must need to hear it, that just because we say that a video shouldn't be longer than a minute doesn't mean it has to be a minute. It can be 15 seconds, it can be 20 seconds. The worst videos I see are where the camera's all shaky and it's out of focus and they're not focused on the product, they're too focused on the person. Some videos could use voiceovers if it has to be really verbally and physically demonstrated, but you don't have to have any. We saw a video come in for a gateway client that he said nothing in it. And I told him, I said, you got to make us a video. We got to see it. You don't even have to say anything. It's so demonstratable. We'll get it right off the bat. We got it. And it was quiet and he just demonstrated it in like 26 seconds or something. And it was done. That's probably the biggest thing and then people try to make it into an infomercial. It's not an infomercial. Or they try to make it too fancy. And it's just, we always say, keep it simple, focus on the product. What does it do? How does it do it? We could have some really bad videos just so that maybe we'll do that next week.
There's a really bad one that sticks out. I was trying to think of a way to say it without giving it away, but I can't. So I'm just going to leave it alone. But yeah.
It's kind of interesting. I think what I've learned shooting videos, and James, you could even talk a little bit about this. You want to shoot it, make sure lighting's pretty good. Make sure you've got a pretty good camera. Could be an iPhone. Come on, you guys. Cameras are great. Take a couple different shots, a couple different angles, close-ups, maybe a little further away. Take a lot of B-roll a little bit, right? It's okay to give yourself enough content to kind of edit it, to tell that story. I also believe that if you're going to shoot a video, write a script first, storyboard it. First shot, second shot, third shot, do it that way. And that way you have a kind of a guide. You're like a director. You're shooting it. So when you go back and start to edit it, you have enough and you've got the right stuff. I even do that if I'm going to do a trade show and talk about me being at a trade show. I do a storyboard of all the shots that I need because I'll forget it if I don't. Now, Eric, I'm going to call upon you because you've got a great little video that you did recently. You got a lot of response pitching your idea the other day at Mojo. You got all these companies looking at it and wanting it. So congratulations. How did you know to do your videos so well? And did you do a storyboard first?
Well, thanks for the compliment. I didn't really do a storyboard, but I wrote it out. Like scene one is going to be the intro.
Okay.
And then scene two is going to be me walking out on the field from the drone overhead. And then scene three is going to be me unpacking the game and setting it up. And then scene four was setting up the target. And then scene five was different
Okay.
shots of the game and different angles. And then different bullet points that were from my cell sheet appeared at the bottom of the screen. You know, each bullet point I showed in the video. And then
Okay. So you had a good roadmap.
yeah, I think that's like super important.
How long was your video when you were done editing?
Well, once it was done editing, it goes kind of against. I was shooting for a minute initially, and it ended up being a minute 38.
Okay, that's no big deal.
And nobody's complained about the length so far.
Okay. When you were shooting it, how many minutes did you actually have of raw footage?
About 4 hours.
Yep.
Whoa, wait
Yep.
a minute.
Yeah, when we shot at about lunchtime for about 2 hours, so from 11 to 1. And then we went back out at sunset because my buddy who does video and film editing for a living, he said, we need to shoot at sunset. That's the magic hour. We need the sunset shots. So we did a bunch of those for 2 hours then too, you know, right before it was setting and then almost complete darkness. And we just reviewed the video later and, you know, it's not my forte to do these videos, but he did such a phenomenal job. It blew my mind and I'm like, this came out way better than I thought it would. And he was surprised because he does this stuff like every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of footage, more than we realized. And he
Okay.
kind of said, no, we need daytime stuff. We need sunset stuff. We need all these different angles. Let me know before you're going to do the, you know, scream out action and I'll let you know when I'm ready. And then I said, I'm ready. And then he was calling out action. And I mean, it was a lot of fun and it turned out awesome.
Well, I
Wow.
can tell you how an amateur videographer would do that.
Well, I was going to
Okay.
give it a shot and I said, it's not worth it. I want this thing to go through. So
Right. But you know, taking your phone, getting a, you know, getting a tripod,
yeah,
turn on the video on, you know, on just video on your phone and turn it on and do not turn it off. Just
Yeah.
keep on going, go closer to it, back from it. You may take 40 minutes of a video on your phone. And then, like I say, you can download it onto your YouTube, make it unlisted, and then you can go into your YouTube editor and then you edit out all the stuff you don't want. So a half an hour video that's really, a lot of it's crap, a lot of it's no good at all, but you can edit it down to all the good parts and get it down to that 30, 45, 50 seconds, you know, shots. Because and I've done it where I was doing a script, like, and I was saying something, I totally messed it up, and I would just pause and start it over again, and then you can just kind of piece it all together and come out with this really decent video. You don't have to hire a professional videographer to do it with the
Yeah.
technology we have at our fingertips on our phone.
Yeah, hey James, you shoot a
Yeah.
lot of video. I mean, I shoot a lot of video. I give it to you just pretty raw. How do you edit all that? What do you use?
Well, I'm on a Mac. I use Final Cut Pro, but anybody could use iMovie or Adobe Premiere, whatever you want, in CapCut even, and do it right on your phone.
Yeah.
It's super easy. I've shot videos of products before, and it's taken me 15 minutes to shoot all of the shots that I need because I've pre-scripted beforehand to know the shots that I want. Take the video, takes me 15-20 minutes to take the video, and then I take it back to the computer, import it, and do all the editing.
Yeah. There's a
Yeah,
little
you
bit of a
did one
learning
that-
curve.
James, Dana, the privacy label, James shot that one, the video.
Yeah, that's really good.
I used a friend of mine as my guinea pig and had her do it all the hand modeling.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
Done very well. So, I mean, you could either hire a professional, hire someone that thinks he's a professional, like James, which he is a professional. James, he does a good job. He's been doing it for years for me. He does a good job. But the bottom line is, it's got to work, right? It's got to tell a story. It's got to tell a good story and have some magic. If you're going to do a video, show them magic. What was your magic shot for you, Eric?
Probably one of the very first shots when we're actually playing the game, because I hadn't tested the prototype yet. That video is the first day I ever tested the prototype.
Oh, why is that?
Because I was afraid it was going to break. And at the very end of the video, it did.
Okay.
The very last shot, it broke. I mean, it worked out perfectly.
Okay.
But we got a lot of game playing in, so I knew that a couple design changes will fix that weakness that was in the prototype. So,
hey, James, can you fake it?
Mitch from LinkedIn had a great question. How do you prioritize what you have in the video? What stays in, what gets left out? And if what gets left out is possibly the one thing that sells the product?
Don't leave that part out.
Well,
Show the magic. That's what Steve just said. So, show the magic.
What gets left out is if you drop the camera, or if you curse, or if you went out of focus, or if you completely went, if you completely went off script, or you completely, your product is not, centered in the, centered in the in the shot. That's the stuff that gets taken out. All the good stuff gets put in there. Gets kept.
But I get what you're saying. If you got a minute and you say you have two parts that you think are equally relevant that you don't want to cut out, like Eric, for example. I mean, it's not, nobody's gonna cut your hands off if you go over a minute by a few seconds or whatever. If you have to have that in there to relay the point, then leave it in there. We just don't want to get to the point where you're saying, oh, the time frame doesn't matter, and then you're sending over a 10-minute video. That's we're not doing that.
Hey, James,
the number, I was just going to say real quick, the number one thing that I tell everybody when they're trying to shoot their video, and they're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do this. Go to YouTube, search on YouTube for as seen on TV. Watch as many as seen on TV videos as you can. All the pros that do it. They've done it for years. All their videos are up there. They're 30 seconds. They're a minute long. You can see exactly how they get problem, solution, point of the difference for the product. And that's how you lay out your product video.
James, how important is it to have music in the background or someone talking or all that? How do you deal with all that?
You don't always have to. You can put music in the background. If you don't have talking, then have music in the background. If you have talking, then don't, because you don't necessarily have to have it.
I like it when they have
and you don't have to be the one talking. You don't have to be the one talking. On all of the videos that I do, I use AI voice for it now. There are great websites that are cheap or free where you can write your script. And in fact, I use ChatGPT to write my script, copy it, put it into the voice website. It generates the voice for me. I may have to go in and tweak it a little bit, and then I have an MP3 file that I can put right into my video.
So where is the video for people to watch? Is it on YouTube? Is it private? Or
put it on YouTube. Put it on YouTube unlisted. You always want to make it unlisted. Unlisted makes it where anybody that has the link can watch it. But if you put it as private, nobody can watch it but you.
What if I want to see how long they're watching it? Can I do that?
It'll tell you how many people are watching it on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell you how many clicks.
It'll give you all the analytics for it.
I have to say though about the music, it's great to have music. Just don't have it so distracting.
Right.
Like you don't need to have some funky song with some funky words. It just needs to be little background music.
Yeah.
How many times have we seen videos where the music is so distracting
or louder than the voice? If the music is louder than the voiceover, that's a problem too. We get that.
And you can go right onto YouTube's on the studio, and they have there's a thing on the left side in the YouTube studio that has their audio. You can go right in there and get all the free music you want to use in your videos.
But I don't think having music in the background is going to make or break it. I just don't think that's even worth. That's not even worth.
So I don't have to talk.
No,
I can
not
write the script and
necessarily.
put it in there. Okay, good, because I'm not an actor. Okay.
I would probably advise people not to, unless
Yeah, don't
they're really
make a
good at it.
15-minute video. We've seen a few of those come through gateways. Somebody submits their product and it's like a 10-15 minute video, and we're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the very end? Do I have all my contact information?
always.
Mm-hmm.
Always show your contact information on the screen so they can pause the video and write it down.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they should have it on the sell sheet too, but if you're just sending, but I
Yeah.
think you should have it on both.
So Dana, my last question is this.
Okay.
You send an idea, Chad, maybe you could help too. You send an idea over to a company. Do they ever come back and go, hey, I don't get this?
Not with us. We've not, I have you ever had a company come back, Chad, and ever say, I just totally don't get what this product is?
Yeah, I mean, there's certain things that need clarification for sure. Like, there might be, I can't think of anything off topic, but I don't think they fully don't, they never don't fully understand the marketing materials, because, the marketing materials are usually pretty good. And before we send those out, we even have
Vetted.
to kind of refine those.
Yeah, no, I don't think, no, they don't come back to us, but this is, if you send over marketing materials any good, they're probably not even gonna respond to you. It's not gonna respond.
So that's a touchy situation too, because we talk about that quite a bit, about not rebuttaling a company, right? And that, so like if they send back a response where they clearly just didn't understand what you were trying to convey to them, that's kind of one thing. But most of the time they do. You don't want to send back, well, oh, we didn't think that you got it from here, because with these marketing materials, a lot of the times they do get it. So with that whole rebuttaling everyone, I'm pretty against that on our side.
Yeah.
Steven's always said the number one thing for your marketing material, when someone gets it, they should look at it and go, wow, I want to learn more.
Yeah, you guys, the biggest thing that can happen is the wow. Eric, you got the wow, didn't you?
I think I did, and like I said before, it came out better than I thought it would. I thought there'd be a little bit of a wow thing, but came out better.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, you
Thanks.
guys look for the wow factor. And trust me, if you can create it, show some magic. That's the best way of licensing an idea with the sizzle video, that 1 minute video. Hey, you guys, I want to stop on time. Let me see what time it is.
Got 3 minutes.
I
got
want to
3
let
minutes.
everybody know that we are reposting this recording, because this is being recorded, and we're going to have it on our YouTube channel, correct?
Yes.
It's always on YouTube
And
and LinkedIn
LinkedIn, so you can
Yep.
go back and rewatch
and Facebook.
and Facebook.
Yep.
You guys, real quick, if you got some questions, you can always reach out to me, Stephen Key at inventRight.com. That's Stephen, Stephen, Key, Key. And I just want to thank everybody for joining us this Wednesday. Andrew will be back, I think, next week. He'll be the moderator. And keep out there, pound the pavement, guys. Don't give up. Keep on pitching. Keep on learning. Make sure to get your ideas in front of those companies to see if you can get a deal. That's the bottom line here, okay? And it's going to take a little bit longer than you think. Keep on watching these videos. And if this is the first time you joined us and you want to see some earlier videos, just go to InventRight TV, and we have them up there too. James, you should put those in a playlist too when you got some time.
They're all under the live tab on the
Oh,
on
that's right.
and on the InventRight TV YouTube channel.
Perfect. James, thank you for coming and helping us. Chad, thank you for exposing your sell sheet. You're very kind to do that. And Dana, thank you for joining us as well. And I want to thank everybody. And we'll see you next week, everybody.